in the verge of end, and it could be anything. Lafu Kabi, Peak to Plummet. It's all in the draft right now. 70%, 80% of the game is being played in the draft. So let's see what 80% will be here today. Yuzong, the first one to be prioritized in the ban list. Asuya.
Well, Peak have understood that the formula for them winning the game is dominating the EXP. Aizen did an amazing job in doing that, and they've been banning Yu Zhang because he absolutely was a force to be reckoned with because he was zoning away the backlines pretty easily. He has, his passive, the buff, it works out pretty good for him. So a good choice for them. And in the previous game, as you said, uh, they could have picked up another roam instead for the Joe. But I think Joe was a good option there, considering they really need to go in, take down the Kimi as well as our Moscow, two of the heroes who are actually in a safe distance. But then
Yeah.
it hands down to the execution. All we saw Joe using the alts only on Aizen or the Garotkacha. And the thing was the Joy had to take them down, but there was always the Gatot with the taunts and then followed up by the stun from the Hilda. She couldn't do anything. And even if she tries to take down the Kimi with the first kill, really hard to track down, really hard to take down with a Joy. So Lafu Capri needs to keep these points in mind in this game and maybe, you know, just go for some anti draft, maybe playing up against Peak's draft.
You know what? Why I said Cho being a wrong pick at that moment? Because Uranus is something which goes for a support emblem, and we all know that whoever goes with a support emblem, a tank, maybe anyone, have a little bit of squishiness. You can say little bit of squishiness, just like Kalea. You sing Kalea having a little bit of squishiness can be easily take down. And Uranus being something, I mean, he can reason back quickly, but it doesn't work when you doesn't get the early snowball or your team not going great. You don't get that thing. So Cho being there was also a little bit of squishy for them, as you have a Joy, could have gone with it to the backline, but Gatotkacha was taunting you, so you could have gone for something which can taunt the Gatotkacha or somehow take out the Gatotkacha from the fight. A Franco would have been great. It's always been great against a Gato. So maybe that's the reason I said that thing, but it's okay. It's their execution, is their mindset. They went for it, but didn't execute it properly. This time they will do it for sure. And Kimi will be in the ban list, knowing that the Kimi played a major role in the previous set, just like the Moscow did. And the Phobius will also be there, as we have said, EXP playing a major role, a potential role nowadays, being the EXP meta going on. The first pick coming out from pick to Plummet. I guess it would be maybe uh, a lot again, or they can go for the, I mean, Lapu Lapu as well.
Lapu actually can be good here because as as you as well as Asuya said, EXP has been quite a priority onto this patch, and if they don't go out with the EXP Lina, it is going definitely going to be a flex pick. And before that, even the mid lane hasn't been prioritized that much, and apparently it is going to be a Gatot Kacha, one of the comfort picks of for the lineup of actual Team Peak to Plummet. They can flex out this role, and we still don't know where this Gatot is going to be heading. Before it was Luminar picking out the Gatot Kacha, and it kind of worked out wonders for their side in terms of taunting the enemy. Like they were able to find out the early game snowballs thanks to that taunts that came up from that Gatot Kacha. So Lafu Kabi, they do have the two picks priorities. They can go out with a counter draft maybe, or maybe this time Zozo instead of the Selena, he can be going out with something like a Farsa. Farsa can actually be a good choice here. Jushin
Yeah.
can also work out, but the problem with Jushin is he mostly works out against a utility kind of a jungler instead of assassins. And like with a mobility kind of a comp, Jushin is not able to contribute that much onto the team fights. And as we were mentioning the Lapu Lapu, it will be Lafu Kabi taking it on, and they have taken Skyzen's Moscow onto their hands as well.
Now you'll be getting a lot of tongue twisters. Lapu Lapu being at Lafu Kabi. And Moscow being there again. I mean, we've been seeing that two matches. Whoever getting the Moscow winning the match. So you can cross your fingers, Lafu Kabi fans, Zozo Glazers. The main Lafu Kabi win this match. But I feel like Hylos, Barca, Moscow would have been a great first three picks from Lafu Kabi, going for a poke burst combo. Then with that, they could have gone with Assassin Jungler, clearing it up, and tanky frontliner EXP who can contribute just like a sustainable wall. Would have been a great choice, but no. Oh, yep. I was expecting this in the previous set when I said that could have gone for a Bruno or could have gone for a 1-1 against a Moscow rather than going with a Roger. And now I'm gonna see a Bruno and a Uranus will be there. That means Gato to the room.
Well, right now we are seeing Uranus in the hands of Peak against Lapu Lapu. This will be quite a match to watch. But then again, Lapu Lapu does have some crowd control onto his hands. Meanwhile, Uranus doesn't. And if he just goes into the front line, I think he will be getting melted down easily by the Moscow. So Uranus needs to make sure that he's not, dying quite often, and he's actually being there for the zones. But then he will not be able to zone them perfectly. So maybe staying near the teams can be a good option for him, supporting as well as dishing damage at the same time. But we are seeing the Baksha being picked up. Lafu Kabi picking up a really strong comp in this game.
Yup, and as Itami said, Farsa could have been a greater choice here, but they didn't went for that. They instead of it, they went for a Basha. I mean, now I don't feel
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't feel like Basha was needed here because you could have gone for some other Pedrin as well, better in this draft. But okay, maybe for to counter the anti-heal of, I mean, to give an anti-heal towards that Uranus, that's maybe the process they are picking up Basha. It's kind of thing that Ling into the ban list is a good way, but now I want to see Pick to Plummet going to ban a mage or they're going to ban some, I mean, jungle here because Bakshia can go for the roam as well, and it's a pretty good roam. It can cover up the map easily, can give a good rotation, invade as well. So let's see if they're gonna go for the mage ban, they will get effect as well because they haven't picked the mage yet.
Mage, yeah, the mid laner is yet to be picked out. Yeah, but the Bakshia, I just hope it's not Kumar number one Bakshia. But anyway, uh, coming back to the point, Estes has been banned out from the side of Team Peak to Plummet. It is actually, a smart choice coming up from the side, but the problem is Rafaela is still active. So instead of the Estes and the Florin, maybe
No.
they could have been going out with the Rafaela ban as well. But one doubt about the Bakshia is whether he will be going on onto the jungle or onto the roam position.
Roam.
It is still not fixed, and he can be going out with the room with the revitalize too. That can be the option, but we are yet to see the cards being revealed from the side of Team Lafu Kabi. The mid laner as well as the jungler roam can be the priority. And as I said, I was kind of doubting this, that Baksha can be going out onto the roam too, and apparently the alpha gets picked down. So an alpha jungle followed by the Baksha roam.
So the last two bans is a West ban from Pick to Plummet. Doesn't work. The Estes and Florin was wested down. And a lot of mages open right now. First, maybe the pick from Pick to Plummet at this moment. And they can go for Assassin Jungler as well. A Suyu could have been working great here against Alpha, I feel. So because Alpha is nerf. No, they're going with the Julian. The comfort will be there. They again going with the Julian against Alpha's true damage. Let's see, but an Eve will be there. That's kind of, I mean, that's kind of new for me. I
It's
mean, Matilda was
nah.
open. You could have gone with the Matilda if
Oh,
you're planning for a
Oh,
Eve.
oh,
no,
Kagura. Asuya.
Jojo with the Sakura.
Asuya must be
Yep.
no,
happy. That's one of her heroes.
Well, he's been
it's
using
pretty
her
worse.
heroes only. I mean, going for Selena and now Kagura. Maybe impressing Asuya, something like that.
She was.
Yeah,
She's no more. Um, well, if you ask me, I think Eve one of those mages who needs a snowball. Like she provides a lot of utility, but the damage falls drastically if the snowball isn't there.
Yeah.
And Peak's drop. I mean, she will be facing a lot of issues in this game, considering there is a Baksha, considering there's so much tankiness, and even a Lapu Lapu who can flicker combo right onto her when she stand alone in that ultimate. So I don't know what Peak was thinking. Maybe just to support the Uranus, they picked up the Eve.
Yeah.
But let's just see what happens. I think they should have gone in for more of maybe a crowd control, a burst mage. Farsa, just like you said, could have been a better option, but here we are in the land of turn. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final game of today, the best of three between them. The one who loses will be out of the competition.
Uh-oh.
But you're already seeing, already, I think, Moon in a very tight situation. The flicker being
Oh
pushed away,
my
managed to
god,
dash
this
away.
guy.
Yuri is going in inside the turret, takes the
Oh
first blood, and the turret damages the MVP here, although Zozo manages to get that last hit.
no. Oh, so the goat once again. He gets
Greedy, they
okay.
got greedy, Tavi.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely got greedy, and they kind of underestimate the healing potential of the Lapu Lapu as well. That is one of the things that happened. And look at the Bakshia already trying to initiate onto Sky. He is quite deep. He is forced out to use his revitalize, and Skyzen will be going kind of back. He doesn't have the snowball kind of ability right now. That is a broom, so he is heavily like reliant onto those itemizations. Unless he completes like his core items, he will not be able to dish out a lot of damage. But onto the golden phase, he does have the
Oh,
advantage. Baksha just comes up, Kumar, he just dives in, and looks like this time the revitalize once again being used out, but it won't be enough. Leminar goes down onto the process. Julian once again, Charin is trying to dive in, and he gets a kill
oh,
onto that
oh.
alpha. Baksha might be going down as well, and Savage Warrior is able to take down that Bakshia. That will be a good treat for the side of Team Peak to come in.
Well, yeah, there in the mid lane there was a miss. The miss coming in for them on the Kagura. But Zozo does have the Purify, so not easily targetable. Right now, easy Lord for Peak. And even though they did get the Lord, the gold is almost equal because the kills are also equal. And now they're looking into maybe invade near the red.
Yeah, and initiations might be coming up anytime soon. Is kind of deep. The retribution has been used out. They are still trying to engage onto those team fights, and looks like the engages are around. Bravest fighter comes up, but Lapula won't be able to sustain the damage. RWM is onto the zone, and this time Team P2P, they are coming up with the trades. Oh my goodness, that was a 2-for-2 trade. Actually, Zozo as well as the Bakshia gets a kill, and Uranus is kind of deep. Aizen might be forced to go back. He doesn't have the healings quite much. Oh, he misses the flame shot.
Um,
Zozo is out flame shot. I just noticed it, and the flicker combo would have been coming up, but I guess he is just going out with the comfort spell. That will be that will be a flame shot. So you never know, Asuya. If Zozo is kind of accurate, he might actually be clutching a lot, or maybe a turtle steel.
Well, that was a quite good gameplay coming in the top because Baksha is kind of a counter for Uranus, especially with his ultimate on. And Uranus, he was maneuvering the skill from Baksha so that it gets wasted and goes for the CD. So yeah, that was a really big brain gameplay coming in from the Uranus. Aizen, as always, doing an amazing job. But right now, both the teams are actually pretty equal. The goal is pretty equal. The kills are pretty equal. Aizen knows that he is the Uranus, he has the heal, so he will be quite in the front
Oh,
lines, quite aggressive right there. But Julian and the
oh,
Spear of Alpha onto the Julian, the AOTG dropping down, but Julian still manages to go away. But of course, it's
Zozo!
just the Zozo doing that, clutch plays. Grabbing that last hit onto the Julian right before the turtle gonna spawn up. A very bad thing happening for Peak to Plummet right now. And of course, Moscow, I think two of the most hated hero from my side, Itami, is this Moscow as well as this Kadokaja. The amount of stunts and taunts they have, they can completely change the flow of the game. But right now, the team's looking for the turtle dance. Lafu Kabi in an absolute front line there, not letting them near up. And the Spear of Alpha coming in once again. The damage from Moscow is too much for them to handle. Lemon trying to do some front lining, looking for some passive hits, but then It is Lafu once again not letting them retreat,
Oh no, oh
jumping
no,
onto that
what
one
side?
person. He will not be the one who will be surviving. Savage Warrior gets taken down. Chunin gets that red, but then once again it is 1 versus 5 in the bot lane. Baksha in a really low HP, and it will be another kill as Aizen will be the next in the chopping block. Will be taken down. Lafu Kabi getting the comeback which they needed.
Yeah, it's trades after trades, blows after blows. Like the fights are going around. The trades are actually equal, but the problem is Moskov. I guess he does has more farm advantage compared to Skyzen right now, and looks like the Spear of Alpha will be coming up. He won't be able to take down the towers. Skyzen is, and he might just go down onto the process. The bravest fighter comes up, but Skyzen takes a kill onto the Lapu Lapu. He just goes down onto the process, taken by the hands of Zozo once again, and the revitalize coming up from the Bakshia. He is trying to do the sustainability play. He might actually be able to escape here, and he does. The revitalize as well as his ultimate just saves him on time.
This is what the goal difference makes you, although it is not much, but still, Baksha is quite tanky in the early. So even Zozo, if you do see his positioning is pretty well, and he's making sure that he pokes people from far away. He makes sure to take down the marksman or any squishy who's trying to escape. So amazing gameplay coming from both the sides right now. Eve, she is doing good with the RWM, but then it's highly conditional if your team is winning in those team fights. Moon wasting a lot of combos right there, but of course Lafu Kabi does have the upper hand right now. They have an advantage on the macro. Uranus caught up all alone.
Oh,
1 versus 2. Aizen still manages to survive. Okay, doing a great gameplay right there. The next turtle of the game already up. Both the teams looking for a dance. Once again, Baksha looking to stun away the Gatot. Gatot looking for the taunts onto the Alpha right in the peak. And the RWM using it up once again. And Moscow manages to dash away. That's kind of a waste if you ask me.
yeah, but she was able to clear out that lane, and she was able to save her tower. Somehow the bravest fighter comes up. There is the initiation coming out. AOG there,
Oh,
but oh my goodness,
oh,
Lebanon was able
the
to take
taunt!
down that
The
turtle.
taunt!
The taunt right on time, and this time Peak to Plummet are coming up with a clutch. They might actually be over engaging, and this time the Spear of Alpha also comes up, but Alpha gets bursted down onto the process. Julian is trying to engage as well. Skyzen gets the shutdown onto Zozo. They are trying to dive in. A 2-for-0 trade for the side of Team Peak to Plummet. Lemonair with that clutch turtle steal actually was able to find that opening for the side of Team Peak to Plummet that they actually need, and looks like they will be engaging and they will be trying to focus onto that objectives. That will be that tower getting taken down. It is a good start. It might actually be the opening that Team Peak to Plummet needs, and they are trying to prioritize as much objectives as possible.
A lot of to and fro's happening in this game, and this is absolutely why I abhor this Karot Kacha onto the enemy. One taunt, and you can't do anything. That's how annoying this guy is. But the RWM coming in, Baksha caught up, taking a lot of damage, and this is to escape away. Alpha and the rest of the team just looking for some supports right there. And, at the front, the lead, which was in the hands of Team Lafu, is suddenly shifting in the hands of Team Peak to Plummet. Aizen doing an amazing job. Of course, Aizen and Lemon combo is the one making the plays right there, and Bruno steadily getting their farm. And Moscow, who was dealing a lot of damage in the early, since they are behind the goal right now, so the damage isn't as much as you would expect from them.
Oh, Baksha was trying to dive in maybe, but okay, the dives are not here. And I would actually try to look at the itemizations as well, because maybe Skyzen, oh, the bravest fighter, the Lapu, and he just goes back. They are not over engaging. That is a good choice for the side of Team Lafu Kabi, considering the fact they were taken. Oh my goodness, Kura just went out with a combo, but the damage will still not be enough. Peak to Plummet are not over engaging as well without Leminar. If the taunts are coming up, then maybe they will be trying to find those streets. The Lord has been spawned, and I actually would like to look at the goal difference from the gold laners, because Skyzen, he might actually be able to complete his trinity at this point. The Lord has been spawned.
Oh,
They are trying to contest. Oh my goodness, there is the engage coming around. Skyzen almost getting taken down. The flicker play coming up, and this time they are able to burst down the Moskov. He just goes down with the overextension. Lafu Kabi
oh my God.
completely looping their members. That will be a 4-4-0. Peak to Plummet are so back, and they might actually be able to take down the Lord, and they do. This time, they are playing it out with the discipline. Baksha is quite deep. He might just go back. He is just 1 HP away to be taken down. He somehow escapes. And this time, Lafu Kabi on a dicey position.
Well, I think Moon, just look at him. He's engaging alone. He's easy to be melted down. He needs to wait up for the backliners. And he's even missing out a lot of his skills, so that needs to
Oh,
be taken
Zolo!
care of. But again, Zolo
Oh my
taking
god!
down that skill. The Sphere of Alpha coming in once again. That might be a
Oh
potential throw as the
no!
SOD connects to the backline. And it will be Savage who will be taken down. Moskov still looking for the skills. Julian all alone. The lone man remaining. One man army looking for some defenses, looking for his buffs, and Lafukavi successfully defending that lord, looking for the push from the mid lane, and like it might be a hard defense for them, but then it is Lemon once again back
Oh,
into the
Jaren,
spawn
Jaren,
right there
Jaren,
by
Jaren!
right into the lane, low HP. The UTG dropping down, and this is what I was talking about. Too far deep, too much into the enemy territory. One last hit is all that's needed, and but here comes
Oh.
the HP back. That was quite close for the Moscow. But once again, the pendulum is there with Ami, and when we thought Lafakabi was losing, one throw, not waiting for the Lord Peak to threw that game away.
Yeah, whichever team throws hard ends up losing the game at this point, and you never know. It can actually be Pick or it can actually be Tafu. I said what I said, guys. But anyways, coming back to the game, looks like this time Skyzen is almost able to keep up with the goal lead that the Moscow has. The itemizations are quite equal, and it looks like Skyzen he will be requiring 2 more items to complete his full build, and there is the engages coming around. The bravest fight is being used out by Moon Knight. He just tried to dive in. Look at Zozo onto the backside. He just gets the kill onto Charin. He tries to go back and he does onto the process. This time, Alpha as well as Team Lafu Kabi, they are able to find those streets of 4-4-0 once again. And they might actually be trying to focus onto that objective that will be that tower. Looks like Team Lafu Kabi slowly but surely they are coming back, and the
Um,
cooldown timers are quite up. The minions are on their. They might actually be able to end the game, Asuya. Oh!
well, there it comes. The 5-minute assault onto Savage. He will be taken down, and here comes the assault onto the base as it is getting melted down just like a hot knife on butter. The enemy will not be able to respawn back as the victory will be taken away by Team Lafukabi, and with this, it will be them who will be proceeding up ahead in this competition. So, Ash, what do you think of this game? That was quite unexpected from both the sides, right?
It was remarkable performance from Lafukabi. I mean, they didn't just lost that hope. They till the end they fought and they look at that they won the match. It was only the Julian was the difference. I mean, they never take him out from the fight. Whenever they were taking him out, they were winning the fight. And Zozo maybe got that thing and went towards the backside. That was the turning moment I can say because he took out the Julian, then Gato dead. Kaizen's Bruno didn't work, and Eve was the only one to defend the best. So maybe that's the reason they just went for that split push. And Basha was the real hero here. He truly deserved this MVP.